Hello and welcome to Gardening at 58 North. So in this video I'd like to show you how to restore your potted plants in the spring. So I'll be using the technique that a lot of nurseries and garden centres use. I used to be a manager in a garden centre. I would get all my staff members to do this at the beginning of the year to really freshen up the plants. So you might have plants like this that are in a pot and over the winter they've looked a bit messy and they're coming into growth now, but they're really not looking their best and they need a little bit of attention to bring back to full health. So what I'll be doing in this video is a quick tidy up just to make it look much better, and also a little bit of a feed so that it will grow strong for the rest of the summer. So what you need to get your plants into shape is some new fresh compost, some fertilizer and secateurs or scissors. So the first thing you'll want to do is you want to remove any dead material. So there's some weeds here that have died off and we'll remove them. There's also some old stems from last year on the plant, so we'll remove them also. Any that don't come away loosely by hand, just use your secateurs and cut away to make sure they're removed. So we're just going to go through now and take out all this dead material. So the next thing you want to do is you'll want to remove the weeds. A lot of the time weeds will grow over the springtime whilst your plant is dormant. So what I'm going to do is just pull out the weeds and try and get them out with their root if you can. If you have to, you can take the plant out of the pot and prise the roots out of the weeds that way. But ideally you want to get the roots out as well as the top half of the weeds, otherwise they'll just come growing back. So just going to go ahead now and take out every little weed that's coming up in this pot. So you can see that that's it weeded and all the dead removed. Is already looking a lot better, but there's a few more things we can do to improve the appearance of this plant. So one thing that we used to do a lot in the garden centres, because we used to get a lot of moss and liverwort growing on the compost, is we used to remove the top layer of compost. So just going to hold this over a pot here. I'm just going to scrape away using my fingers just the first centimetre or two of compost. That will remove any more of that dead material that I haven't been able to pick up previously, but also it's going to get rid of the moss and the liverworts and any other tiny seedlings that might be about to germinate. So we'll just scrape the top layer off. Depending on how strong the root systems are on your plant, a lot of material might scrape off, or you might only be able to scrape a tiny bit off. So I'll just go ahead and clear that all up. So you can see there, already a big improvement, but we haven't done anything to feed the plant yet. So what we need to do now is we need to think about feeding the plant for the rest of the year and also improving the surface appearance a little bit more as well. So what I'm going to do is going to get some slow release fertilizer. I'm just going to sprinkle it around the top of the plant. I often quite like using bloodfish and bone or grow more for this, and this will feed the plant for several months. If you get the slow release ones, it will last for the whole season. So bloodfish and bone is good if you want to do the whole season. Grow more will give it a faster boost of energy, but it won't last for as long. So that's the fertilizer now on. So what we want to do now is cover it with fresh compost. A couple of reasons for this. One is it looks much nicer having nice fresh compost. Two is it keeps the weeds down, so any weeds that might be on the surface here will be smothered and their seeds might not germinate with a thick layer of compost. And also it will add a little bit of nutrition to the pot as well. So we're just going to pull back the leaves here of our plant, and we're just going to sprinkle in the fresh compost, just gently firming it down. We don't have to push down hard or anything. It's just a mulching layer we're doing here, really just to help with the appearance, as I say, and to give it a little bit of feed over the summer. It's also to replace that compost that we removed previously, so it's at the correct level. So just give it a shake there. Get the leaves pulled back out again because I've kind of bunched them up. And there we have it. That's our plant. As you can see, it looks much better. What we also sometimes do in the garden centres is pots will get a bit dirty, so we just brush them off with a brush, or if you're wearing gloves, just brush them off as well. And that just gives it a much newer, more nicer appearance. And we sometimes clean it up with a sponge if it was really dirty. So that's it now finished. As you can see, the plant is looking much better. Looks like a brand new plant, really. So we would often do this in the garden centre. You get a 2 or 3 year old plant, wasn't selling for years because it was looking quite messy and weak. Take off the compost, refresh the compost, give it a bit of a tidy up, and it would look like a brand new plant that's just arrived at the garden centre. So we would do that to these plants, and they suddenly sell them the same day often. So you can see the difference. And also with that feed that you've added and the compost, it's going to grow well for the rest of the summer, and all you need to do is water it and maintain it. So you can do this on any potted plant. It looks best, for the biggest before and after effect you'll get with a herbaceous plant. You can also do it with shrubs and trees and pots as well. So that's all for this video, just to show you guys how easy and quick it is to do a little bit of maintenance in the spring to keep your potted plants looking at their best.